This episode of Going In Raw is brought to you by NordVPN. Sure, the internet can be good, but can also be a scary place full of hackers trying to shoot on your security and pry into your personal data.
But you can protect yourself with NordVPN. NordVPN offers double data encryption and has a strict no logs policy. That means they never track, collect, or share your data.
And right now, Going In Raw listeners can get 68% off NordVPN. Only $3.71 per month, plus you get an additional month free at nordvpn.com/raw or use coupon code RAW. Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you can be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson. Oh, no, my phone was ringing. That's no good. Gotta put it on airplane mode. Man, super exciting stuff. This coming Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we will be starting our 24-hour live stream. We have dubbed it FriendoFest 24.
It was 24 hours.
There are not 23 preceding FriendoFests. Like you just said, it's because there weren't 1,999 WrestleManias before WrestleMania 2000.
No, that was the year it happened.
Exactly. So this is FriendoFest 24. This is very exciting stuff. Come and check out us doing that. We're going to be playing Rocket League. We're going to be playing some Grand Theft Auto. We're going to be playing some Fall Guys. Maybe some Among Us. We're going to be doing a live watch along of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Money in the Bank 2, 2011, maybe.
Money in the Bank. No, that's solid. We're going to do that one, and then we'll review it after the fact.
There you go.
I'm going to be getting a Shaq-a-roni. I'll be reviewing a live review of Shaq-a-roni. We're going to be watching, for the first time ever, Larson's going to be watching Unsolved Mysteries with me and the Enforcer. Yeah. This is exciting stuff.
I mean, I've seen Unsolved Mysteries before. This is the first time I've ever watched it.
But you've never seen it with us.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to think if I've ever watched an episode with you, but you know if that's the case.
We're going to be looking for horses and updates right here at the Twitch, twitch.tv/Steve and Larson. Not on YouTube because this was a road to 500 subs. We achieved the 500 subs, dunked back down to below 500 subs, but we got there. We're there. We're going to have a couple special guests as well.
Yes.
I think we might have like a Too Sweet off also. Now the Too Sweet barrier has been broken, and you guys, hopefully you all saw it this past weekend on the video dubbed "The Larson Era Begins." Couple of Too Sweets between these friendos here, so Larson will be giving out digital Too Sweets to people zooming in.
There you
More
go.
info on that as the week progresses. But yeah, tomorrow also at 2 p.m. Pacific for all patrons, channel members, and Twitch subs will be live just for you guys, exclusive Friendo Club TV. So keep an eye out on those various locations for the link for that tomorrow at 2 p.m. 5 Eastern for that. Let's get right into the news. It's because we got a news beef, and then we're going to be answering your guys' questions. First up in the news over the weekend, as part of the ongoing Otis Miz Morrison feud, Mandy Rose has been sent to Raw, which probably means, Larson, Otis somehow, some way is going to lose that briefcase.
Well,
go ahead and piece this together for us.
At least it's going to be up for grabs. So we can discuss the possibility, I think it was a Fightful tweet. We kind of discussed it. The possibility of Miz and/or Morrison challenging Otis for his Money in the Bank briefcase. And so during SmackDown, there's been a bit of cat and mouse going on between Otis, Miz, Morrison about the actual contract. Following the latest round where Miz and Morrison were stymied yet again to get their hands on that piece of paper, Miz grabbed out his phone and said, I'm going to call in a favor. So on the following Saturday, that episode of Talking Smack, the favor Miz called in was calling someone in USA and brokering a trade that sent Mandy Rose to Raw. Of course, Otis is still on SmackDown. So at the time, Friday, at our SmackDown recap, we discussed the possibility of what kind of scenario would potentially lead to Otis putting up and maybe losing his Money in the Bank briefcase. One such possibility we discussed was Otis fighting for Mandy's job. And while this isn't exactly fighting for Mandy's job, putting up the briefcase to get an opportunity to get Mandy back on the blue brand seems a distinct possibility.
Yeah, definitely seems like that's going to be the case. I mean, look, dude, let's be honest. When Otis first got the briefcase, we were both as happy as I was that it helped me win predictions. I saw the writing on the wall. Vince really seemed to like Otis. Vince, much like myself, will be fascinated moment to moment by something silly, funny, goofy, or whatever. Doesn't mean you put money on the bank on him. Typically, you'd want to put money in the bank on somebody who's a bit more legitimate. And I was thinking, okay, well, maybe they're going to try to make Otis legitimate. Well, the idea of him cashing in on a guy like Roman Reigns or The Fiend or Braun Strowman, or even over on Raw, a Randy Orton, a Drew McIntyre, it just wouldn't make any sense given the way that he is booked. So it does seem like Vince McMahon has once again buyer's remorse.
We've heard this before with numerous Money in the Bank winners. I think Dolph was on that list. Damian Sandow, obviously, that he'll become infatuated with a particular performer, give him Money in the Bank briefcase, and then seemingly instantly have buyer's remorse.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I mentioned this on SmackDown. I could totally see somebody like John Morrison, I'm sorry, I know like right now, maybe the idea of John Morrison successfully cashing in on Roman Reigns seems completely and totally unlikely. But I think it'd be interesting to see him back in the main event scene where he was, 10 years ago, around 2010, 2011, whenever that was. So yeah, I think it seems like that might be where this is headed.
I wouldn't discount the possibility of Miz being the one getting that briefcase either.
Another former, WrestleMania headliner,
world champion.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the possibility exists they're going down this route just to give Otis a story too, and not to get the briefcase on him.
It's possible, yeah.
You can't assume that if he's going to put the briefcase up that he's going to lose it. I mean, history, I think, has indicated, or at least the one instance that I recall, of someone putting the briefcase up, and then they got demolished in pretty much humiliating fashion, Mr. Kennedy. Mm-hmm, I'm sure there's been other instances with people putting the briefcase up and retaining. They're just not coming to mind right now. Mm-hmm. But, if nothing else, it gives Otis a story involving the briefcase. Mm-hmm. If he loses, that could potentially be in kayfabe humiliating for Otis. But getting absolutely destroyed by Roman Reigns isn't that great of a deal either. Mm-hmm. So maybe they'll find something to do with it that's interesting and doesn't lead to essentially a wasted Money in the Bank contract reign, if you will, for Otis.
Otis giving up, though. I honestly think the best, they had rehired, I forget her name now, but they rehired the writer who was spearheading the original Otis Mandy storyline. And maybe she's come up with a story that sort of, could be, I honestly think that something where Otis sacrifices his Money in the Bank, if written properly, for Mandy, could be a pretty decent one for him, make him look pretty decent and sort of keep him where he's at. I mean, I don't know if we had talked about this on SmackDown where you said, what makes him look better or at least less maybe stupid if he cashed in on Roman Reigns and got annihilated, which would give him some sympathy heat, but it would also make him look just weak, just really weak. You like to think that any mid-carder could conceivably power up to the main event scene in some way, shape, or form.
Well, it takes decent stories being told. They haven't really done that with Otis.
No, they have not. If he, on the other hand, were to make the ultimate sacrifice, the briefcase to save her, you're not making him look weak there if it's written properly. You're potentially putting it in the hands of somebody who, maybe even AJ Styles, like the person you originally chose to win that Money in the Bank, the person who had it and dropped it. Maybe AJ Styles gets it back after this whole Intercontinental thing is done. I don't know.
Anyways.
That's kind of interesting. Before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's show, Raycon. Hey, Larson, I know you love to keep up with music. You're always listening to the freshest jams.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. Whether I'm working out or just relaxing at home, I'm usually listening to music, and I found that the best way to listen with a pair of premium earbuds, especially if I can get them for half the price of the other options, and that is why I choose Raycon.
That's right. Their newest model, the Everyday E25 earbuds, are their best ones yet. With 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact, comfortable design that gives you a great noise isolating fit.
So whether I'm listening to music or recording a podcast like I am right now, my Raycons have become my go-to wireless earbuds. They're comfortable, sound fantastic, and like some of those wireless options, Raycon earbuds are stylish and discreet. That means no distractions from stems or dangling wires while I'm trying to be productive. You've probably seen celebrities like Snoop Dogg, Brandy, and Mike Tyson are obsessed with their products. Raycon also has a 45-day free return policy, so you can make sure they're the right pair of wireless earbuds for you.
And for a limited time, get 15% off your order at buyraycon.com/raw. That's buyraycon, B-U-Y, Raycon, RAYCON.com/raw for a special 15% discount on Raycon wireless earbuds. Make sure to check it out now while the deal's running. Buyraycon.com/raw. Speaking of AJ Styles.
Yes, so a couple items of news for Mr. Alan Jones here. First up, on this weekend's edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer and Alvarez reported that AJ Styles is allegedly upset again. So it seems that AJ has declared his past issue with Paul Heyman as water under the bridge. But according to the Wrestling Observer, now the Phenomenal One is upset that with SmackDown now airing live each week from Thunderdome, he now has to miss his son's high school football games, which of course happen Friday nights.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't go into a whole lot of detail on particulars of that, but I would expect AJ to address this particular report on an upcoming Twitch stream. Speaking of which, AJ talked on a recent Twitch stream about dipping his toe into the tag title picture with Bullet Club founder Finn Balor. As we had to say, transcripts from Cage Side Seats, quote, "At some point before I retire, I hope I have the opportunity to win the tag team championships, and then I'll do what very little have done to be able to say that I've had them all in WWE. So we shall see. It would be a too sweet moment for sure if we won the tag team titles together, right? That's what everybody wants. Let's just give everybody what they want. That would be awesome."
I'm gonna agree with that. May I ask this? The link you have here for the first bit here where Meltzer had talked about him being unhappy. Do we know, was that on the radio version or was that on the newsletter?
It was in the radio. I listened to it this morning. It was from Sunday's Wrestling Observer Radio.
You said it was sparse on details. Was there any hint that Meltzer, like where Meltzer was getting this from, or he's not going to tell what the sources are, but
yeah, no, but he said something to Alvarez on the line of, "Did you see this?" So I don't know if it's something vague, because I didn't find this information anywhere else about him maybe being upset, unless I didn't look hard enough. But I did some additional. A little bit of additional looking around to see if anybody else had anything about this. And everybody, of course, just referenced back to this. So I don't know if
I would just suggest this. This is just good old Steve here. Okay.
Yeah.
I call bullshit.
Yeah, I don't think this is true at all.
That is such crap. That's the kind of shit that that Meltzer gets crapped on for. Like literally last week, I come off watching a stream of AJ Styles where he is completely and totally 100% defending the WWE, saying all these people out there saying that, they're the big bad guy. Don't believe what you hear. I love the place. I would want my children to work here. Does that sound to you like a guy who's upset that he can't go to his high school? He knows damn well what working on Fridays is going to entail, and all of a sudden he'd be upset. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, listening to this, it seemed kind of thin.
Yeah.
The news. So, yeah, grain of salt for sure. And, yeah, if you're working on Friday nights, I know, and they mentioned this on the radio as well, that, things have been rather fluid of late, not just in terms of WWE, their own production, because not that long ago they were shooting shows in bulk Mondays and Tuesdays, and so they were talking about how when AJ moved to Friday to SmackDown, then he wasn't actually working most Fridays. But also when he made the move to start working on SmackDown, like everything in terms of education, especially high school athletics, like so much of that is up in the air, has been until relatively late.
Yeah.
So when he made the move over to SmackDown, who knows if he had any idea whether or not he was going to even be playing football this season.
Yeah.
There's just so many variables in play to say that, oh, now suddenly he's upset because he can't watch his kid play football. When you got to know if you're working SmackDown, at any point, you could be called upon to start, actually shooting the show live again. It's not like WWE when they're doing their schedule, doing stuff in bulk. They were adhering to the actual schedule itself. They were, scheduled to do 2 or 3 shows a day, and they'd run late and have to postpone one of them. It happened all the time.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I appreciate Dave Meltzer for many things. Being a historian is the thing that you and I both sort of look at for his newsletter. It is always fun to, especially when we're doing like a going in review, to go back and look at the newsletter and see what his take on it was as a wrestling fan, which is what he is.
Yes.
But this kind of stuff is baseless. There's nothing. I mean, come on, man. You're talking about a guy, and then people pick up on this stuff because everybody picks up on Meltzer, and we'll report what he says sometime. We do that plenty. We're doing it right now. But I don't know, man. If you want the straight shoot from AJ, go to his Twitch stream, Styles Clash.
Twitch stream.
It's always pretty entertaining. I don't watch them all, but I'll catch them from time to time. Regarding the tag team thing, man, I hope he wishes that into existence. That would be rad. That would be awesome. It was just, I mean, honestly, it'd just be a shame that they never put the entire former Bullet Club together with Gallows and Anderson, AJ Styles, and Finn Balor. That could be a ton of fun. I'd love to see that. And I know Finn's the NXT champion right now, but that seems to be a placeholder situation because of the Karrion Kross thing. So I'd definitely like to see that. That could be a lot of fun. Yes. So time to play. Speaking of baseless speculation, Larson, let's play some of that because according to WrestleVotes, a WWE star currently under contract has no plans on re-signing. WrestleVotes said this on Twitter. I can't reveal the name as that's just not smart business, but I can very confidently say that a certain WWE talent has decided not to re-sign with the company once their current deal expires. Now, it'd be completely irresponsible and reckless to take this seriously because look, here's the thing. Hey, guess what? I can say that too, because I can guarantee you out of the 200 people they have under contract currently, somebody's not going to re-sign.
Yeah.
But given this is probably somebody, and WrestleVotes has a good record.
Yeah.
Throw some names out there, Larson.
Well, I mean, it's not AJ Styles because he's got another 4.5 years on his deal.
That dude seems totally happy.
Yeah, he does seem happy. Jeff Hardy said in an interview, I think with BT Sport, that he seemed to say that he just re-signed, or he said something about part of the deal he made when he re-signed was that he get one of his old themes back. So I don't think it's him.
I mean, clearly it's not going to be Kevin Owens. I'm sorry, Roman Reigns.
Well, it's not going to be Kevin Owens either, because within the last year or two, he signed a 5-year deal.
Yeah.
I mean, there's names that stick out like Ricochet. They ain't doing anything with him.
He was on Raw this past week.
They're not doing anything substantial with him.
He's in a feud with the Hurt Business. Look, man,
yeah,
not everybody can be champion.
He's getting beat up by the Hurt Business. Yeah, I don't know. Nakamura, maybe?
Mustafa Ali shouldn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think there is a distinct difference between how they treat Mustafa Ali and how they treat Ricochet.
Oh, there is. I mean, Ricochet's on Raw. Mustafa Ali hasn't been in weeks.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, this isn't shocking, man. I mean, there's a lot of people there, and who knows if it's just the culture of work there seems to be. If you're a person who likes communication and structure and
vision of where the company is going on a creative level.
Well, yeah, but I mean, just as an individual, I mean, that's kind of abstract. But like, communication, say, hey, you can't do this. What? Oh, let's clarify 3 days later. And then even then, it's half-hearted.
You say the thing about the creative vision is it's not so much. It's making plans, setting forth plans, and seeing the plans to fruition, barring unforeseen circumstances. That's what I mean by that, not like some nebulous thing.
Yeah.
Someone has creative plans in place, not to change someone to change their mind and rip up the script 2 weeks later. You have a vision of where the story is going to go. You see it through.
I think my thing about that is that I've never heard in pro wrestling anything being. I mean, look, yeah, there's like sort of the extreme with Vince ripping up a program or a script right before they go live. But I mean, from every anecdote I've heard from every wrestling booker or promoter or whatever in all the interviews, it's like, yeah, wrestling is just it's tough to stick to a plan because of that kind of stuff, because of injuries, because of wrestlers pushing back and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, if that's the kind of thing that somebody really, really values, at a certain point, the pros, the cons are going to outweigh the pros if you're not on TV and stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a big landscape out there. Wrestling's back. I mean, for the most part, I'm sure there's plenty of places for. I mean, everybody in the WWE is like super talented.
Oh, yeah.
So there's going to be plenty of places for people.
Yep.
All right, before we continue, here's a word from the sponsor of today's episode, NordVPN. Sure, the internet can be good, but it can also be a scary place full of hackers trying to shoot on your security and pry into your personal data.
But you can protect yourself with NordVPN. NordVPN offers double data encryption and lets you browse the web in private because NordVPN prevents data logging. In fact, NordVPN has a strict no logs policy. That means they'll never track, collect, or share your data.
NordVPN is compatible with most operating systems, including Windows, Mac OS, Linux, iOS, and Android, and offers 24/7 product support and a 30-day money-back guarantee to ensure your satisfaction.
NordVPN even has a user-friendly Chrome extension and provides unlimited bandwidth on super-fast servers with up to 6 simultaneous connections.
And right now, Going In Raw listeners can get 68% off NordVPN, only $3.71 per month, plus you get an additional month free at nordvpn.com/raw or use coupon code RAW.
Let's talk about In Your Face, Raw. That's happening tonight. In Your Face.
In your face.
On your face. So the first match here listed on the official WWE.com preview, Drew McIntyre goes 1-on-1 with Keith Lee.
That's going to end in RKO. Who's going to get RKO'd?
Both. Everybody's getting RKOs tonight. Dominic Mysterio and Seth Rollins clash in your face in a steel cage match. In your face. Rollins
did you see? They changed Dominic Mysterio's render, his little picture thing.
Oh,
now he's got a serious face and not a big, goofy, smiling face.
He's no longer just happy to be there. He's WWE superstar.
Serious business.
So Raw Women's Champion Asuka defends against Mickie James. And then finally, the Street Profits battle Cesaro and Nakamura in a champions versus champions match. And then also, you got a bit of a note here at the very end about the NXT UK Heritage Cup.
Well, we had at least one question coming up here in Mailbag about that, so I just figured we'd give them a shout out when we get to them. But in the meantime, there's this, and then I'll go ahead and I'll run down because I watched. Hey man, it's my new Monday thing, being the Elite. I watched it, so I can give you the rundown on it. NXT UK, the Heritage Cup, and they've named. It's going to begin this week. They've named 8 wrestlers who will be involved in this. We can go ahead and determine right now, Larson, who's going to win this thing. Noam Dar, Flash Morgan Webster.
He's got jacked.
Yeah, he's a big dude now. The Bomber Dave Mastiff. Alexander Wolf. Joseph Connors. A Kid. and Trent Seven. And there will be a wild card entry.
Oh.
Ooh. So this seems to be like guys who are firmly mid-carders.
Yeah.
Because like
they're treating this cup like a title. This is essentially their mid-card title. Like I think the cup can be defended.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's my understanding. I thought I read that.
You have more info than I do then.
I thought I read that. I could be completely wrong, but I
don't
saw
know. I just copied and pasted this paragraph here. I didn't read any other info about it. Let's see here. I'm gonna say, well, you and I, we can both agree that Joseph Connors is definitely not gonna win this.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. So following the tournament, yeah, defended as a championship under the same British rounds rules.
Okay, cool. Right on. Let's see here. I mean, the biggest name in here.
Well, it's Trent Seven.
Trent Seven. He's not really a singles guy, though. The biggest name in here is Dave Like the guy who should win this is Dave Mastiff. Kind of without even hesitation on that one. Trent Seven's always the guy in the tag match who gets beat up a lot.
What better way to rehabilitate his career?
He's like 40 years old.
Opposed to being a guy who gets beat up in tag matches and have him win this Heritage Cup.
Is that your pick?
Yeah, Trent Seven. He's probably going to be eliminated in the first round, but I'll say Trent Seven.
I'm going to go with the bomber. I'm going to say Dave Mastiff.
All right. I'm just trying to think of wrestlers whose particular skill set matches up with the British round style approach.
Yeah, cool. But here's what they could do. Alexander Wolf.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know who's going to be showing up probably this week.
Yeah, give Imperium all the titles.
They are basically the British Undisputed Era. Mm-hmm. So go there with them. I'm going to go with Wolf. I'm going to say Imperium has all the titles, dude.
I'll say Trent Seven.
That's going to happen.
That's a pick from my heart rather than my head, but that's what I'll do.
That's good. No, that's good. So being the elite, a very slippery rope this week, today was released, and it was revealed, Larson, that Michael Nakazawa was the man who used all the baby oil on the rope that made Matt Sydal slip and fall when he was trying to execute that shooting star press. That was pretty funny stuff. It was kind of funny. They were like ripping on themselves for that the casino battle royal. Like the elite were sitting in a room watching it, and they turned it off. They're like, "This was terrible. This is crap. Who put this together?" And the Young Bucks were like, Kenny said that. Young Bucks were like, "Yeah, we did that." Let's see here. At one point, the Young Bucks they paid their fine to Tony. They went into his dressing room. He wasn't there. They had a big wad of cash. They just threw it, and it just rained down. So that happened.
Was it actual dollars, or were they Young Bucks?
No, it was actual money. It was real dollars. I'm assuming it was their merch money. We had a dance-off between Silver and Reynolds and TH2, the Hybrid 2. Mm-hmm. And if the Hybrid 2 lost... By the way, spoiler alert, I'm just giving all this stuff out. How about this? I'll set it up, but I won't spoil it. If the Hybrid 2 loses, they have to join the Dark Order.
Oh, wow.
The judges for this competition were Wardlow, Orange Cassidy, and Stu Grayson.
Interesting.
It's pretty funny stuff. Let's see here. We had a segment where
it was Mr. Brody Lee in it. That's all I really care about.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. That's the best part. So in the men's room, they found somebody had written in red paint, "Brody sucks," and then dash, meaning that the author, Stu, but Stu was written STOOO. So they bring in the Dark Orders, and then they bring in Mr. Brody Lee. And obviously he's upset about this. And he lines them all up, and he's like, "Let me see your hands." And so everybody's showing their hands. And then when he gets to Uno just raises his hands, because as he goes to each person, he's asking, "Let me see your hands." And he said, "Uno, you raised your hands before I even asked you to." So he berated him for that. And then again, no spoilers here. The culprit was eventually revealed. It was Silver and Reynolds. Let's see here. Hangman Page is at the bar. Brandon Cutler told him that the Young Bucks really don't want to talk to him anymore. Hangman was left alone. We got a little bit with Matt Hardy. I sort of fast forward to that because I was hoping Rebby was going to show up, but she never did. Matt Seidel found out it was Nakazawa. He goes chasing after him. I don't know who this was. Maybe somebody in chat can tell me because I don't watch Dark. There's a very charismatic guy who was delivering cakes to Brandon Cutler's hotel room. Something had to do with Hangman Page. I guess I missed that. But he was really funny. I thought he was great. And he ate all the cakes. So I don't know who that was.
Interesting.
Anyways. But the entire thing kicked off with Eddie Kingston cutting a promo on one of Sue's cookies.
I heard
he was
that,
teaching promo class. It was hilarious. It was great.
Yeah.
So yeah. And during the Dark Order bit was really funny because Uno makes a Matt Cardona joke and they all started corpsing. And when anybody breaks, Brody gets up in their face and says, "Are you crying?" It's pretty funny stuff. Anyways. Well, you want to answer some questions?
Yeah, I got one here for Mr. Triple Mania. Friendos, you haven't heard from me in a while because I've been in and out of 2 hospitals, had 3 surgeries due to kidney stone complications. Oh, that sucks.
Well, that sucks. That's horrible.
Says, I'm better now, but still not 100%. Anyway, question, will Survivor Series still celebrate the 30th anniversary of The Undertaker without fans? Yeah, especially now with the Thunderdome. It's not the same as having fans in the building, but there's people there watching the show. So, yeah, I think they will. Will it be what they maybe had in mind initially? Maybe not. But there'll be some sort of celebration, I feel like.
Yeah, they got to do something where he shows up and they do a celebration, but it's not going to be like a dramatic symmetry moment of, his retirement match. Okay, so that was I had heard about this guy, Megabyte Ronnie was the guy with the cakes.
Right.
Very charismatic guy. I might have to start watching Dark now. Let's see here. Patrick Sparks, the B-Man. What would it take for NXT to hit 1 million viewers? It would take about 150,000 more people to watch.
And it would take them being on their own night. They're not going to do that going head-to-head with AEW.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
And then he also asked, what would absolutely tank ratings?
To go back to the way it was before they started loosening things up a little bit, where it's just here's a 30-minute match. Here's another 30-minute match. Here's another 30-minute match.
Everybody just wants to be really tough and not have a whole lot of dimension to their characters.
Yeah, that would tank ratings. They might. What would it take to hit 1 million? Maybe if they brought a proven ratings draw to NXT, like Sasha Banks or Bayley, if they started doing that again. If they brought
their own night, though.
Maybe if they brought. Yeah, this is all predicated on it being on its own night.
Like a Seth went to NXT for a bit, or AJ. I think.
Or Kevin Owens, stuff like that.
Yeah. The Thing from Under the Ring, Book of Strong Style pay-per-view with the hardest wrestlers of all time, including heavyweights, cruiserweights, women's division, and tag division matches. We kind of did that when we did We Book Raw Stomping Ground. It was a shoot fight tournament. You only win by KOs or submissions. That was a lot of fun. Yeah,
that was a good one. You guys should check that out. It's available now on our channel.
Yeah.
And we probably could do it. We probably did it better then with some, forethought. Mr. Bighead, I'm of the opinion, that Sasha shouldn't be seen or heard from till the Rumble. Do you agree or disagree? I think that's too far away. I'd bring her back by Survivor Series.
I kind of agree with that. I understand that she's a ratings draw. I think it seems like she might be on SmackDown this week, and that's a bit too soon.
Well, when is Hell in a Cell?
The 25th of October.
Yeah, they should wait at least a couple weeks.
Yeah, instead of a week.
Yeah.
Wrestling Graham, what women's wrestlers in all of space and time have the character depth comparable to John Cena to fill his role in a Firefly Funhouse match with Alexa Bliss?
Charlotte.
That's a good question.
Be Charlotte. Well, I'll say this. Maybe Bayley. Because Bayley had a distinct character change. But there is nobody. I mean, there honestly really isn't anybody comparable to John Cena. Because Vince stunted women's wrestling for decades.
Will Combs, since October is coming up, would you guys like to see Halloween Havoc make a comeback? And what spooky gimmick storylines would you have make a comeback?
Yeah.
And then he says, since the answer is a Chamber of Horrors match, who would be in it?
You kick
Gotta do
things
the
off.
Halloween Battle Royal.
Yeah, you kick things off with a Halloween Battle Royal. You do that. But you also have the Chamber of Horrors match.
Yes,
and
yes.
Damian Priest would be in it.
It's for the North American title, yeah.
Yeah,
You have
everybody.
Damian Priest, Dexter Loomis, Karrion Kross. You know, so
Yeah.
he could be healthy soon.
Yeah. I
Anybody
like
who's
that you brought him back down to the North American title scene.
He fits in with the gimmick, man. He, you know, because Scarlett can apparently put fire in books or in contracts. So
Yeah.
that's some supernatural powers.
Maggie asks, I've seen so many rumors about Billie Kay and her future with WWE. Yeah, one of the big things over the weekend was, once again, Dave Meltzer speculating that the WWE is done with her. So then, like, you know, a bunch of clickbaity headlines were Billie Kay get done with WWE, WWE getting rid of Billie Kay. Maggie asks, how would you guys book her assuming she stays with the company, or would you like to see her try her luck elsewhere? I think it should be this. I think the whole thing should be a swerve. Like, WWE on TV and, you know, maybe feeding some disinfo to certain websites and people say, oh, yeah, no, she's going to be completely off TV. She's going to be buried. But then she comes back, attacks, like maybe she's, oh, hey, Peyton, this is your first title match or something like that. She's in Peyton's corner to support her, and then big turn, and then they make her into this big monster heel person. I think she could probably handle that, man. I think it'd be fun.
Oh, yeah, she'd be great. Should be great. That's good. That's good. Nick, how would you book the upcoming Hell in a Cell?
There'd only be a single Hell in a Cell match. And it'd
if
be Sasha
rumors
versus
or
Bayley.
reports to be believed, make it Drew versus Orton. Have it be their blow-off.
I'd have it just be Sasha versus Bayley.
But then the problem with that is, like, the first match in their feud you're having with what should be the match for their blow-off.
It's Hell in a Cell, man. Come on. That ain't no blow-off. Iron Man's a blow-off match. It should be, but
like a
you'd have
literal
to
I quit match.
Yeah, you'd have to retcon the last 10 years of how they've used Hell in a Cell.
Anthony Topa, well, not necessarily. Like the New Day Usos feud blew off in Hell in a Cell, so did Sasha and Charlotte. Anthony Tobias, if there was a draft in October, who would be your top 5 picks for Raw, SmackDown, NXT? Oh, just you wait. If they announce the draft, we're going to do a mock draft again, because that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's fun stuff. Dalen Dula. You've been given a budget of $31,000 to do a complete shot-for-shot remake of any movie you want.
Why is it $31,000?
I don't know. What movie do you pick? What wrestler will believe in your vision enough to agree to be the star of your low-budget production?
I'm going to say Dave Bautista, because he said in interviews he doesn't care about, you know, being the huge star. He wants to be a good character actor and be in good roles and good movies for good directors. Not that I'm one of those.
Yeah.
But I would try to make my pitch to Dave.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can make a movie for $31,000, but still have star power in it.
But what's the movie?
It would have to be something you could do. It wouldn't require a whole lot of visual effects, because that's where the money is spent.
Yeah, you need basically you'd need like one.
What's Pie with Dave Bautista in it.
All right, I'll bite. Who would be his mentor figure? Max. You're no longer talking mathematics. You're a numerologist. There's a pattern in the stock market.
Again, I'm trying to think of someone I could convince to do it for like no money.
Yeah. It'd be. I'd see if I can get Conrad to do it.
Oh, Brian Cox.
Oh, wow. Good luck with that, man. He's making that money off McDonald's right now.
Oh, exactly. That's why I figure he can do stuff for free.
Why would you want to do this? King V. We already did that. He asked about the Heritage Cup. Let's see here. Sean Lathrop. There are a lot of new non-WWE wrestling video games coming out. Which one are you most excited for? Retromania, The Wrestling Code? I don't know anything about The Wrestling Code except
I don't either, but I think we're going retro.
I'm down to play retro. I'm going retro. Hey, buddy.
Lord Ziffer, who should be the next first-time Intercontinental Champion after Zayn retains his title at Clash? Be the next first-time Intercontinental Champion. Who should win the Intercontinental title after Zayn retains?
Oh. You know what, man? You might not like him. You might get irritated when he interrupts segments that he shouldn't be in. But the dude has put in a lot of work. Looks like he can grill up some good meat. Give it to Baron Corbin.
All right.
What was he? Was he U.S. champion at some point?
Yeah, I think so.
He was U.S. champion, wasn't he? Give him an IC title run.
All right.
See if he could be interesting.
I will say Otis. He loses Money in the Bank, wins Intercontinental title.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. I mean, Big E, I think Big E needs to...
He's been the Intercontinental champ before too.
Yeah.
Carlos, do you think Shayna becomes women's champion before the end of the year?
Man, I don't know how they're going to work this one out.
Well, she's going to have a reign with Nia. That's going to fall apart. They'll feud, and then after that...
Oh, Shayna. I thought it was Sasha.
Top.
Sorry.
No, Shayna.
No, she's not going to have the title. No. They're going to have a fairly dominant run as tag team champions.
Blake Elizondo, what company or brand should run a rebooted Halloween Havoc style show? Also says book the card. We kind of did that already. So I will say NXT should do Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one trademark that WWE should protect at all costs.
Mm-hmm. NJWP, how many belts in WWE need to be gotten rid of or unified? Unified the tag titles for sure.
Oh, that's number one. Completely, absolutely. I would even say unify them across NXT, but like at least let NXT, get their hands on them.
Yeah.
Greg Morris, when Triple H said there are plans in the future when Charlotte lost the NXT title when Rhea got pinned, what do you think those plans were had nothing gone astray? I mean, I think I would like to assume that Triple H wasn't just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
For shits and giggles, I guess. I would imagine it was trying to make Rhea into a stronger, into an even stronger character. Mm-hmm. She would pin Charlotte Flair at some point in time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd think so.
I mean, that's
Chris Currington. Who would you like to see Adam Cole Bebe feud with on the main roster, Raw or SmackDown? It's Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens is number one. AJ Styles is number two. Let's see here.
Dirty Rich, modern day. Who would the greatest tag team of all time, the Shit Twins, fare against the best in a tag match? So, like, if we had to be in a tag match, what tag team would you want to be in the ring against to look the best?
Was Cutler and Peter Avalon ever a tag team on Dark? Mm-hmm. Okay, them.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Literally have not. And apparently, is that happening this tomorrow?
Tomorrow on Dark, I think.
I'm so hyped because I get to do Impact again tomorrow. By the way, I'm not going to be doing Unsolved Mysteries on Thursday because of the 24-hour stream on Saturday. I gotta.
You gotta rest.
I gotta get some rest in.
You gotta take care of yourself.
Yeah. I want to give my all to that 24-hour stream, man.
Yeah, man. Well, this is a good question from Chris. If you guys could pick any city in any country to host WrestleMania, where would you guys choose? Hughes Stadium, Sacramento, California.
There you go. That's good.
Assuming Hughes Stadium's still there.
I would say if I had to go away from that.
Convenience for us, yes.
Yeah, convenience for us is obviously paramount. But
obviously,
what's a city that we'd like to? Man, I really wish we had more time in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Or Boston. I'd love to go to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun.
Or Philadelphia.
Philly. Oh, wow. That'd be great.
Even Chicago. We didn't really get to go into, like, Chicago proper. We were out in the suburbs when we were there for All In.
I know. Steven Hansen. Did you guys see Jack Evans' response to the way AEW has booked them? So yeah, Jack Evans over the weekend in response to a fan saying, dude, I'm still trying to figure out why you and Angelico have been treated like crap in AEW. Number one, it's not really appropriate to tell a wrestler, hey, you've been treated like crap. No one wants to hear that. That's rude. Anyways, very diplomatically, though, he says, I keep seeing stuff like this, and honestly, we haven't been treated like crap. There is 2 hours to fill, and they don't want to have 2 to 3 minute matches just to stick more people on TV, so there's going to be some more downtime as new people are rotated into angles. On top of this, there are little things the fans aren't privy to. For instance, my ring cardio was at such a low point that in my match with Kenny, we had to cut a good 5 minutes out because I was done. Or other little things. For instance, to the annoyance of Angelico, I have been pulling shit styles on everything from in-ring character, gear, and all the way to if we need to more or less do cool moves as a heel team. Finally, on top of it all, and someone needs to formulate a way to teach this in wrestling schools, we suck at pitching angles. This is an email to the bookers. Quote, so like, give me a mic and I talk some shit and then we fight and stuff. Which when you have a booking crew that is already overloaded, they want something a bit more concrete than that. So there's much more that goes into it, who gets a push and who doesn't, than people think. When you have limited TV time and everyone wants it, you have to be sure that whoever you're giving that TV time push to, they're ready to go on all cylinders. And up until recently, we haven't been, or at least me, and Helico has been pulling his hair out, waiting.
Did he have like a fracture or something like that too, he said? He had like a hairline fracture of something.
I didn't see that in here, but it's possible that he had mentioned that before. I don't know. I mean, it makes total sense. It's, you know, there's a lot of moving pieces.
Cheekbone, hairline fracture of his cheekbone.
Ouch. There's so many moving pieces in wrestling. I don't have to be a promoter or inside the business to understand that. It just makes sense. Everything he's saying makes sense. And it's nice to hear that. And it is refreshing to hear somebody with that kind of candor be so open about this. You know, I often look at wrestlers and I think to myself, man, why don't they have like, you know, when you see sometimes promos on Twitter, I think to myself, why aren't these people micing themselves? They don't know how to do that. They don't, you know, these people don't have film degrees necessarily.
Yeah.
You know,
or know somebody who's adept at that kind of stuff. Yeah.
They do what they can. Like in my mind, everybody should be pumping out these Mustafa Ali type promotional films, but I also know that they don't have the resources or the know-how to do this stuff.
Yep.
And even though it's easier than it's ever been, it's still it's a lot for people. They're already training, practicing, trying to get bookings, trying to run down promoters to get paid. To be able to do things like, hey, let me formulate a pitch. Let me produce a professional level wrestling promo video.
Yeah.
There's a lot that there. I mean, you have to know a lot to know how to do all that stuff. Like I know how to put out a pretty decent video. I don't know dick about wrestling.
Yeah.
I'd probably murder myself if I ever got into a ring.
Oh yeah, I would not last long.
Yeah.
The big dog, biggest match going into Clash of Champions for each Raw and SmackDown. And do you really think AJ is mad that Heyman is on SmackDown now? No, he said he said water on the bridge. Their past issues. He said that I think on one of his Twitch streams. And as we mentioned earlier, I doubt he's even really mad about missing his kids' football games. You know, you agree to move to work on Friday nights. You know, you got to know that the chance that's going to happen. So I doubt. I mean,
dude, I know you and I would both love to, you know, hang out with our families on the nights that wrestling is on. But as part of our business, it makes much more sense for us to crank out the podcast after the show
right away. Yep.
So. You know, it's just when you have, but at the same time, I'm available in the morning to do, you know, distance learning with my kid. And, you know, during wrestling, if it's on, there's a match on, I can, okay, yeah, you want to help with your homework really quick? I can do that. Like it affords other opportunities.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's another thing with this current situation is AJ's only working 1 day a week right now. He gets to spend the rest of the week hanging out with his family. I know one of his kids was on one of his recent Twitch streams, just sitting with him. So, yeah, he might have to miss football games Friday nights. He gets the rest of the week.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and maybe there'll be a Friday on occasion during the course of football season where he's not booked. Guess what? He gets to go to the game then.
He's always the kind of guy, especially on his streams, you know, he seems like the kind of guy who tells it like he sees it. You know, he's not afraid to like complain about stuff or to, you know, debunk rumors and stuff. I know some of the wrestlers they have, and I think AJ also does have mods, but like I know there are some wrestlers out there who you ask them the most basic question about booking or behind the scenes stuff, and they'll just delete your comment. They just will shut it down. AJ's pretty open about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he is. He is. I mean, like when Anderson and Gallows got released, he was pretty open about his disappointment there.
I think he just understands that he's earned the right to be vocal and to speak his mind. Yeah. Oh, wow. Minini here says SmackDown's ratings were adjusted over the weekend.
Oh, wow.
From 2.26 to 2.32. Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's awesome. I'm kind of curious about the quarter hour. So you see who that stuff is always kind of interesting to me. That in real time you can sort of tell. Yeah.
Who pops the quarter hours and stuff. Yeah. Segment by segment, pretty much. That's pretty neat.
Panda Police Club says Adam Cole streams is kind of like that. Mods delete any comments about feuds and stuff. He's very careful about.
Well, I also understand, you know, you're Adam Cole, and he's launching a new thing that he wants to be. I'm sure he wants to exist when his wrestling days are done. And if you want to focus on your gaming endeavors, you know, you don't want to be bogged down talking about wrestling. I get that.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
Absolutely. Let's read a couple of these here in the Twitch, and then we'll call it a day, and then maybe we'll read some more when the cameras are off here. Patrick Oliva, where would GCW run in Sacramento? The outdoor soccer stadium?
Yeah.
In my backyard.
It'd be cool if Ace of Spades. I know it's an indoor club, so it's supposed to be post-pandemic. But it's like the roof is really low, so I don't think you can run wrestling shows in there. But that's a really cool venue.
It's a really cool venue, but I'm just thinking like these days, like right now.
Yeah, outdoors.
It's like on the banks of the American River.
Land Park.
Park. There you go.
The eighth green.
Yeah.
At the Land Park Golf Course.
There you go. Let's see here. Ondum, do you think WWE needs to start actually using the difference between their various no DQ matches? I.e. chair shots still legal and no holds barred chair shot. Man, that's the least of their problems.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
I don't
see the rule book they publish is literally a sketchbook. So
yeah. I personally don't care about that stuff. I don't care. You know what helps though? Because AEW does this and WWE does too sometimes, I've noticed. Commentary will clue you in on some of the minutia of the rules during the match. Oh, this is okay because he can do this. And that's good enough for me.
This is a good question. White Brian 92. If Larson is SmackDown and Steve is Raw, then who's the third man for NXT in the mock draft?
Well, we know Dan watches AEW, but I don't know if he watches NXT.
It would have to be Cal.
Yeah, Cal was NXT. So, yeah, he's the third man, brother.
Yeah. I don't know if Hilton watches NXT.
I don't know. I kind of doubt it. I think he watches. Yeah. What is he? Does he still watch Raw? What does he watch? Dude, I like SmackDown. Hilton, what do you watch? SmackDown. Oh, he watches SmackDown.
There.
He's one of the 2.3 million. He's over there.
Not there.
It's right there. Hugh Longheavy. How is New Japan getting talent from the U.S. to Japan for the G1? Via plane.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to ship them via crates I
believe you could do that.
On a ship. That sounds horrible.
Yeah. No, they imagine they work something out diplomatically, between State Department and the same governmental body in Japan. Got it all worked out.
Are there still travel restrictions?
I think so, but I'm not 100% on that.
Can't you just do whatever you want as long as you're wearing a mask? I thought all the airplanes.
Well, maybe you could do what you could do what you want so long as you're cool quarantining and wherever you go for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Let's see here. Papa Nez, do you guys think Taz should replace JR on commentary? Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
And then this last one here, Senor Nerd. Since you guys admitted at first that you hated the Dark Order at the beginning, but eventually enjoying them, do you think the same will happen for Retribution? I don't know. It's possible. I'm open to it.
I mean, yeah, totally.
I don't know what they are. I don't know who they are.
if they provide enjoyment in the level the Dark Order do, if they have a leader who is charismatic and captivating as Mr. Brody Lee, certainly.
If I see Dijak lining up the other members of Retribution and yelling at them in a .com exclusive, yeah, I'm down. I'm cool. I'm good with that. Let's do it. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. We definitely appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later. Twitch chat, stay tuned. We'll hang out for a second.
Goodbye.
Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson. Enjoy tons of bonus videos, including patron-only live shows, gameplay, and vintage 10 for the wins, access to podcast question threads, the Friendo Care Package, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steve and Larson.